Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Map Battle League show. I'm your host, Carp, and I'm joined today by one of the hosts for the Map Battle League, Mr. Blue. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you. Very excited for this season. Yeah, it's a new competition, and it looks very promising. And I'm hoping that it can meet the expectation of myself and of the people.
Yeah. And well, for people who are new here, would you like to give them a quick rundown of what the Map Battle League is all about?
Yeah, I'll try to be quick. So basically, this is a competition, maybe a little bit similar to the Reddit League, meaning that we are facing each other one versus one, and yeah, people will be ranked into a table. I would say that the main difference is that people are facing each other every week on two maps, and that the maps that they are assigned are based on the results of the previous rounds, as well as the choices that they make. So, for instance, for the first week, the results for the first 2 weeks of the preseason were taken into account, and for week two, the results for the third and the fourth seed. So yeah, and then from week three onwards, the results of week one of the main season will count, and all the players' scores then accumulated from their two seeds and put in a ranking across the divisions. And yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, so you really have that element of your past performances affecting how you do in future weeks of the season.
Correct. Yes. Yes. And
Yeah.
then the players they submit their preferences from the randomly selected maps for that specific week. The maps are then assigned according to the draft order and the players' choices that they have made.
So, in today's season preview, we're going to be taking a look at how the Map Battle League has shaped up over the 4 weeks of preseason that we just had, and sort of take a look at the season to come. So let's hop straight in with Division 1. And here we have it. 14 players in all of the divisions. Um, Division 1, we've got a few familiar names from the Red League, from Division 1 and from divisions further down. Uh, you'll notice Blinky, Orpheus, Boxer, fresh off of his Reddit League title, and then a few players from lower divisions in the Reddit League as well, some familiar faces that you would know as well, Mr. Blue.
Yeah,
Um,
this is very interesting for me to see as well. Like we have indeed like some of the big guns from the Reddit League, but then at the same time we also have yeah people coming up from lower Reddit League divisions. They are actually jumping up into Division One here, and we also see some familiar faces from other competitions as well as completely new players that we have never seen anywhere before. Um, so I'm really looking forward to see how this is gonna go. Um, like Blinky and Boxa, they have dropped only less than 100 points in the whole preseason. So yeah, they are up there, and but we already knew that, of course. But we can also see, for instance, three people with less than 200 points dropped in the whole. No, no, that's not correct. What I'm saying, only Orpheus has done that as well. But Poligno and Shumi, for instance, are also yeah very up high in the list there, and yeah, they have done really a good job in preseason.
Yeah, you can see like just over 4,000 points separate all of these top 14 players, and it was pretty close um, for the fight to actually make it into Division 1, as we'll see.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll get to that later, but
Yeah, yeah, we will. Yeah, any matchups in this that you're particularly excited for, or any players who really stand out
yeah,
to you?
I mean, obviously, blinking against Boxside, that's going to be like a battle that has been going on for a while now in several competitions, so that is going to continue here as well.
Yeah.
Um, like Orpheus is someone who has come close or into that battle himself as well. Um, yeah, recently after the after his really good Red League season, so I'm expecting him to do very good as well. And I'm
Mm.
very excited to see how the new people from the lower divisions are gonna keep up with them. And yeah, the new faces that I've never seen before. I'm looking forward to see what they can do as well. So it's going to be very interesting here.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't taken part in Reddit League just yet, so this is going to be interesting
Yeah,
going up against people who
yeah,
hopefully.
yeah, yeah. No, we have seen you, of course, in Formula G, for instance. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's a whole different kind of competition,
Hmm.
and yeah, it's going
Yeah.
to be very interesting to see how people are gonna deal with this sort of one versus one competition if they have not never done it before.
Hmm.
Like we have seen you also in time trials and so on, and yeah, like the same for Xander. He has been in Reddit League this season, but before that we have not seen him in that as well.
Yeah.
Sheldon Wong, I've honestly never seen him before, but
Mm.
yeah, I mean, he did really well, and happy to have him in the
Yeah.
competition as well.
And good luck to everyone, really. Okay, let's move on to the fixtures for week one as they've turned out. Uh, I'm going up against Moist Flubber. Uh, I've been assigned the Netherlands map, which I've played quite a lot, to be honest. Mr. Blue, that's your home country.
Yes, I know that. I've seen your videos on the Netherlands map, so I was not surprised that you were going to choose that one. So that's going to be an interesting matchup already. I don't know how good Moise Flubber is in Canada, but given the fact that he is North American, I assume that that's going to be a very interesting matchup, to be honest.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Boxer, uh, picking 5 cities over 100,000 citizens. Being German, he has gone for what are presumably his strong points. You've got Frankfurt, Munich, Stuttgart, Bonn, and Cologne. So, yeah, definitely playing to his strengths there. Meanwhile, Paulinho has gone with a city in Romania, doing pretty much the same thing. Picking Cluj-Napoca, being the Romanian that he is. Uh, Next up, Solo Sensei, being the American, he has picked the United States map, and he's going up against Soviet Spy with a rural world. Blinky in Indonesia against Shumi Obeloso on the Danish islands. Interesting map choice there. Sheldon Wong with Iowa uh, might suit him, being an American. And M the Basement on a diverse world. Again, another instance of players playing to their strengths. Orpheus picking Strasbourg for a city in France, um, which I believe is his hometown. Barry Fishy Bear picking Wyoming. Uh, I believe he is an American, despite the Chinese flag over
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. Mhm.
Xander picking 5 urban locations in Romania against Kodiak with 5 urban locations in Senegal. We've got an urban matchup right there. So yeah, yeah. I mean, already in the first week, you can see a lot of players, playing to their strengths. They know what they're good at, and they're trying to go for that. Might become a little harder in weeks to come when some of the players over here might not have first pick on their maps, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, like for instance, the Boxer versus Paulinho match is going to be very interesting. Obviously, Boxer, um, the current Reddit League champion, choosing his own home ground for his first match here. But then also Paulinho is taking his own country, so that's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to play out. Obviously, we also had Romania not long ago in the Reddit League, so Boxer probably is still fresh for that as well. Um, so it will still be a very tough job for Paulinho, but I think that he definitely has a
Mm.
chance to maybe get a draw here.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out for him, but only time will tell how he'll fare. Um,
Yeah,
Another matchup, Orpheus against Barry. I do think Orpheus has a fair bit of an advantage getting to really sort of handpick the locations he's got. Uh, but I mean, Wyoming it isn't that big either, so it could be a more of an interesting matchup as it
and
turns out.
I agree with that one as well. And I also think that Blinky there has a very interesting choice because he has the first choice to make from all the players because he had the highest score in the first two seeds of the preseason.
Right.
And he chose Indonesia. So either he is very good at it himself and he's expecting a good score there from himself, or he knows that maybe his opponent is going to fill at that location, and yeah, that's going to be an interesting way to see how that's going to play out in the rest of the season. Like what kind of choices people make, and how that's going to play out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in this league, you could play to either your own strengths or to your opponent's weaknesses, and uh, you know, that's just the kind of strategy you got to go for. Um, Also, being week one, pretty much all of these matches, I believe, were uh, either the first or maybe in the top five picks of the players. So, this week might end up the strongest for all of our players um, for the
That
rest of
might be
the
true,
season.
actually. Yeah, yeah. We have to see how that is going to work out indeed, because like if someone in Division 5, 25Ks both of his seats, then he's going to be number one in the ranking for the next week choice. So that is how it works
Yeah,
out. So the results are going to be across divisions for the map choicing. So that is um, something that is also like a competition within a competition, so to say.
yeah. Okay, let's move on to Division 2 over here. And we've got a lot of Frenchmen in here. We've got Gabriel topping the charts, followed by Ollie representing Tajikistan, a country I don't think I've seen on here very often. Then we've got Danny Blons, Brian, Pierre, Zotomo, uh, WTF, Croatia, another one I haven't seen all that often. Exalt, the third Frenchman on the list. Dryfuck Punk, I think I'm saying that correctly. Uh, TGB Madone representing Armenia. Richter representing Belgium, which again I haven't seen all that often. As
No,
we
that's true. Yeah.
as we see in later divisions, there's quite a few countries being represented on here that we haven't seen all that often. Then we've got Diesel in 12th, and then
You have to
Wordog.
mention that some people have also chosen countries that are not their own
Oh
country,
yeah,
but still it's very interesting to see. I think most people have done this though. So, but for instance, Ollie here, I know that he said that he chose Tajikistan because the flag is the closest to the Kurdistan flag.
oh okay, that's interesting. So, yeah, and
Yeah.
rounding off the table, we've got Wordog and Schluty. Uh, and again,
Yeah.
as we can see, like the scores over the preseason are a lot closer here actually than in Division One. Just over
Yes,
three
absolutely.
thousand
And
points.
and you can see that like Wordog and Schluti, they're like two sort of famous names within the community, and they just
Yeah,
barely made this division. So they were almost yeah, not making it, like in 13 and
yeah,
14th position. Um, then we also see like some other people from lower divisions in Reddit League, like Zotomo, for instance,
yeah,
Ollie, Danny Blons. They are all here, and they almost even made it into Division One.
mm.
Gabriel only missing Division One by 7 points, by the way, which is really
Oh yeah,
yeah, unlucky for him, but maybe also lucky. Maybe I expect him to be
mm.
yeah, quite high on the list, even though that we have never seen him in other competitions. But I do
Yeah,
know that he is from the French community that that me and a few others are yeah, part of as well, and playing in a competition there. So yeah, he is definitely in there. Pierre is in there as well. So yeah, we can definitely expect something from them as well.
yeah. Some other new players. I don't think I've seen Brian before, and as well as Trickter and I think Dryfuck Point. At least I haven't.
Drijfvakpunkt I've seen quite some time, like in the last few years, even already within the community, but
Uh,
only from like small Reddit competitions, like not
uh,
the Reddit League, but like competition on the subreddit,
uh,
as well
yes.
as events hosted on GeoGuessr themselves, like the No Moving Pending Zooming League and that sort of things. I've seen his name in that kind of competition quite a lot, but yeah, never in a competition like this. So looking forward to that as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Something interesting I've just noticed. If we look at how our competitors fared in like three of the preseason on the urban map in Austin, there's quite a bit of a drop off. A few players have got perfect scores or near perfect scores, but then there's a few who just barely broke 20K.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. The actual urban lag here, like three in Austin, was one of the yeah, probably the most important seed of the preseason. Meaning that a lot of players actually 25K that, but also a lot of people, yeah, kind of like had low scores there, and therefore you will also see later on that a lot of or some at least uh, known players that are like generally higher up the list are now lower in divisions. And like Schludi barely made this one, and he
yeah.
only had 19K there as well. So like if he had like 1,000 points less, then he was not in this division even. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we'll see another few players later on that are expected maybe to be in higher divisions. But yeah, uh, especially because of this urban lag, yeah, they didn't make it.
Yeah. Ended up being quite a crucial seed, as we see, as we saw.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the fixtures now. We've got Brian playing on the Columbia River, up against Pierre on the Still World, non-moving. Um, there are a few of these maps scattered in there, I believe. Special non-moving and NMPZ maps. Uh, then we've
Yeah,
got
we see it here now in this division. Like we have a few players. I think there's another one. I don't see it right now, but I think there was another one that was now moving in this division. Whereas in Division One we had only one no moving.
hmm,
See, but I don't see which one is the other one here right now. But I'm quite sure
uh,
there is another one.
I think it's Drone View of the World, which is no moving as well.
Oh yeah, of course, yes, of course,
Yeah,
yes.
I forgot to list that. Anyways, uh,
But anyway, drone fuels are now moving
yeah,
anyways.
right. Okay, so we've got Madone playing on that map, Drone View, up against Diesel on the entirety of Africa. Uh, Danny Clones on the European Union against Zotomo, who's picked the Pacific Northwest. We've got Dryfuck Punk picking a city in Austria, which is Linz. And then Verda's got the 150 largest cities in the world. Then there's Ollie going with the Dutch city, Nijmegen. I think I got that right.
Nijmegen.
Okay. He's going up against WTF on North Macedonia. Close enough to his home country, I think.
Yeah,
Probably.
no, absolutely, absolutely.
Trictors in Montenegro up against Kyrgyzstan, which is Schludi's map of choice. And then Gabriel in Andorra playing on the Spanish islands against Hexel.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one. Two
Yeah,
Frenchies, and then they play Andorra and the Spanish islands. That's gonna be an interesting one.
yeah,
I'm also looking like at the Montenegro here by Trichter. Um, we had two players dropping out like really late in the preseason, and they got replaced by two players from Montenegro. And
right.
obviously they are like the lowest in the league when it comes to map selection,
Mm.
because they didn't play the preseason, and they both selected Montenegro as their first
Ah,
map, obviously. And yeah, Trichter yeah stole that map away from them, unfortunately.
mm,
So uh,
yeah. Hopefully they get another chance to go for Montenegro. Um,
yeah, maybe somewhere in the others in the rest of the season that would be nice for them.
it'd be even better if they go. Oh wait, they aren't in the same division.
I suppose that they are friends, but I'm not sure about that. But I suppose that they are
Mm.
friends, and that unfortunately for them, they're not in the same division.
Ah, yeah. Other than that, anything stick out to you as an interesting match to look out for?
Well, as I said, like the Hexalt against Gabriel match, I think
Right.
that's going to be very
Yeah.
interesting because that is the one that's standing out for me at the most here.
Mm.
I think that Ollie against WTF is going to be an interesting one because of the fact that we know them as players,
Mm.
both, and they are both quite good from the experiences that we had in Reddit League.
Yeah.
Same goes for Danny Blons and Zatomo. To be honest, I
Yeah.
expect that to be an interesting matchup as well.
Mm.
Um, given the fact that they both play in the same division. They don't. No,
No?
they don't actually. Like Danny Blons was Division 5 actually, and Zatomo
Ah.
Division 4. So you would say that Zatomo
Mm.
then might be the favorite, but we have seen Danny Blons doing quite well in other competitions as well. So
Right.
uh, yeah, very hard to say. I mean, like there's a lot of good players here in this division from the ones that I know, and I suppose that the ones that I don't know. might also be up for that level. So I'm expecting this division, just like the Red League Division 2 in the Red League, I expect this also to be very, very open.
Yeah, and I mean, from what I've seen, I think Division 2 in the Reddit League is just as competitive as Division 1, and hopefully that continues here as well. I think the non-moving maps or the matchup should be really interesting to see as well, given that usually in these leagues we have moving maps
Yeah.
all the way
So that
around.
is an interesting way of like a twist in this competition, because like if you're really good in no moving, then that is definitely something to keep in mind. Like that is one of your strengths, but then also maybe not of your opponents is like a weakness. So that's something that you can definitely use.
Yeah. Okay.
And every week there will be no moving maps. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, like if it's really your strength, then you should definitely try and go for that.
Yeah. Okay. On to Division 3. We've actually got quite a few familiar faces over here. We've got Maxify, followed by Nakira, and there's Armand. Uh, Again, now I'm just noticing this. 4 more Frenchmen in here. Uh, we've got
He was actually French as well.
right, so
So
5
I mean, like,
then.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Fluky representing Easter Island this time around. Then there's Faraban. Um, the Ulfer. I hope I'm getting that right. We've got Ottawa. And then Aitharu, Jake Lyons, Caesar, 303, the 59 Soundbite, Seppo, Lunacy Echo, and then Levan Greb, my former Formula GT mate.
But as you said, like indeed, like a lot of famous names or like familiar names in this competition as well, which automatically then shows that also this competition is going to be very competitive.
Yeah,
Because we can see Max, we can see Nakira, we can see Faraban, Pluki, Ice. I mean, like this
yeah,
is definitely not going to be an easy competition at all. Jake Lyons,
yeah,
Seppa, we got Laban Grab, Lunacy, Echo. I mean, like this is a very competitive
yeah.
division as well, and this can go all the way. To be honest, like it can go either way, and a lot of people can fight for the promotion here.
Yeah, I think we'll end up seeing the fight for promotion and relegation go up to the last week, as we probably will with another division, to be honest. But, there's going to be a lot of fighting going on here. Another thing over here, you can start to see some of the players from higher division in the Reddit League who are in lower divisions over here. Max, I believe, is Division 2. I
He
can't
just
remember.
promoted to Division 1,
Oh,
so
that
I mean,
too.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's not so easy. And Eister, who relegated from Division 1 to Division 2.
Mm,
So yeah, absolutely, this is going to
yeah.
be very very tricky division.
So yeah, really excited to see how this turns out. Let's look at the fixtures for the week. So we've got Jake on an official uncommon world, non-moving. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not entirely sure what that map entails. And we've got Ice picking a city in Iceland, being the capital, Reykjavik. Probably playing to his strengths here, as we've seen before.
Yeah, we can see the next one as well.
Oh yeah,
France against Finland.
and to Finland. Both Armand and Max going for their home countries. Uh, and Ottawa and next is picking Caen for a city in France. But Caesar has also gone for a city, but this one's Londrina in Brazil. So will we see sort of an advantage going one way or the other? We'll just have to see. Levan Greb has gone for the Americas. Nakira is on an AI generated world. The 59 soundbite has gone for the Australian cities maps. Sealfur is in Argentina. Lunacy Echo is on the Better World against Plucky, who has gone for the map of the Israeli district of Azafon.
Oh, he did not go for that. That's
Or
also
okay,
random.
okay, random pick. There we go. Uh, that did sort of catch me by surprise. Sep has gone for 5 urban locations in Guatemala. I'm I don't know if I'm suspecting random pick there or not. And then Faraban has gone for NMPZ on an unusual word. How these players placed on the table again? Because I would have expected Levan Greb to go for Argentina, being part Argentinian, I believe. Um,
I didn't even know that.
and I remember during Formula G, he he sort of carried me on the Argentina round. So um,
That's interesting to know. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so maybe he would have hoped to go for that, but I mean, he's still gone for the America, so um, he's still got a bit of a
Yeah,
strength
I
there.
would need to look into the map selections as well because do not know what how many, like which choice this map turned out to be from him. But yeah, that would be
Mm,
an interesting thing to see as well. Yeah.
yeah. Too bad we can't see every single pick that all these players made. Uh, but yeah. I mean, we've got some interesting matchups over here. Ice with
Yeah, I'm planning to release some sort of yeah, like map popularity as well, like a list of all the selected maps, or and then to put them in an order by the most popular one that has been requested in the map selection to see if that is something that we can use. But yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, so yeah, we've got Ice over here with Reykjavik. Um, Probably a fair bit of an advantage over Jake, so that should be interesting to see how well Jake can face up to him.
and
Um,
how good is ice in not moving?
oh,
That's the other thing.
that is true. Uh, you've got sort of the same thing going with Ottawa, going for a city in his own country. Uh, we'll have to see how Teether can hold up against that. But then Armand and Max,
That game is going to
that
be yeah, the one that's standing out for me. Like they both have their main country. I know that
yeah,
Armand is supposedly very good on the French map. Like
mm,
I know him from the French community as well, and I know that he is known as one of the yeah standouts that is like really good on the French map. So I
mm,
expect a very good result from him there. And well, yeah,
yeah,
Max on the Finnish map is going to be a very interesting one as well.
yeah. Watch out for this one. Anyways, let's move on to Division 4. Again, a lot more familiar faces, and a few faces that we would have expected to see higher up. We've got Paranoid Android up top, followed by Calamity. Then we've got Hugo, Jack, Ashtetli, one of the new players, I believe, Zenata. Then we've got Bitlimpics, Edward, Edikmi, Clemens, Kirchi, Ordboka, or Polybus, Epkiest, whose flag, I swear, is there. It's just the colors blending in.
It's Luxembourg.
Yeah, I had to put in a light of blue, otherwise it'd be the same as the Netherlands. Uh, and then we've got Michael, followed by Connor rounding out the table. Another thing I've noticed, so for Division 1, the um, differences in the scores at the top and the bottom of the table was like just over 4,000, almost 5,000 points. But for every division since, it's been a lot closer. Um,
Absolutely, yeah.
Everyone's been within about 3,000 points of each other, which really does show how close the competition is, even in lower divisions. Uh,
Yes, yes, yes. And like Calamity, for instance, is a Division One player in the Reddit League and ends up in Division
yeah,
Four here, for instance.
mm,
We can see Hugo, who is very known in the community. Paranoid Android is actually known in the Reddit League as Sky Blue. He's playing there. We got Pastetli, we got Jackass, who I've seen not in Reddit League or anything like that, but I've seen him on many other competitions on the Reddit,
yeah,
on the subreddit, and he's always doing very good there as well.
mm,
We got Edward, we got Headache Me, we got Clemens, Ort Boca, Seb Kiers. I mean, like, there's still a lot of good players in here as well, to be
oh
honest.
yeah.
So yeah,
Uh, Interesting to know Hidikmi is repping Antarctica. Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, that's That's a
It's fun. It's
first.
funny because we gave people the freedom to choose any country or any anything that they wanted to represent anyway. So it's interesting to see what some people have come up with Herikmi and Pluki as the most interesting ones, I would say.
Yeah,
Like, but yeah, it's why not?
yeah. It's a bit of fun.
Liechtenstein is also interesting, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Other than that, some of these players weren't particularly impacted by that urban map in dropping down divisions.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Like players like Calamity, who you probably would have expected to see further up, are just down here
Yeah,
because of like,
Calamity was actually troubled by like two mostly, and maybe with like three as well. But
yeah.
yeah, interesting to say that actually. I didn't
Mm.
notice it myself before, but yeah, indeed.
Yeah, it's not a case of someone missing out on one map or something. It's maybe multiple
No,
maps. On to the fixtures for this week. We've got Olympics in Vietnam. Edward has picked Sylhet for a city in Bangladesh. Paranoid Android picking 5 urban locations in Croatia. Again, something he's going to be really strong at.
definitely his own choice indeed there. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be amazing if that was like a random pick. So Connor has gone for Latin America. Renata is going for the Arabian Peninsula, while Hidetmi is going for South Korea. Both interesting choices.
Lower you get, the smaller the chance is that you get your number one pick. So,
Right. Yeah.
like most likely these maps they were on their lists, but they are not not necessarily like the number one picks, of course. So yeah, they could be the number 4, 5 pick, or maybe even lower than that,
Right.
depending on what they selected.
Yeah.
They did appear on the list in most cases, at least. Yeah.
Mhm. I'd be interested to see how many people got like their 19th or 20th pick.
Not many, not many.
Okay.
Like most people, they got at least because there were also some people that did not submit anything, so
Right.
they got like random maps assigned to them, and like from the ones that did submit something, I think maybe two or maximum three people they did not get any of their selected maps, and anyone else did actually get something from their list. So
Next up, we've got Calamity. He's gone for the city in Lithuania of Šiauliai, I think.
no idea how to pronounce that, but yeah.
Yeah. Close enough. Let's go with that. Michael has gone for Northern Ireland. He's representing Ireland, so that is again probably playing to his strengths. Shtetley has gone for Civilization Alphabet U.
Yeah, I have to say something about these maps because yeah, these are not currently released, to be honest. So actually, Pastetli and myself, we have started. I mean, like it was like a long um, mission of myself to actually get this going on, but I never really got to it. Um, and then Pastetli asked me, like, okay, is there anything that I can do is in order to make a map or whatsoever? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, like this is something that I had in mind for like a long time. You're like, oh yeah, let's do it together. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I did A to M, and then he did sorry N to Z. Um, and then basically we created maps of cities starting with that letter. So first of all, we created a whole database of cities with these letters, and then from there on, we have been adding the locations to the maps. They're all polygon maps, so we have just yeah, gone to these cities and created polygons around those cities. Any city with more than 1,000 logs, we just created a polygon that yeah, got less than 1,000 locations. And yeah, this is how we have created it, and we are still creating these maps until we have already all so until we have done all of them, and then we will release it. But they're already able to be used for this competition, and yeah, anyone that has been assigned that map and is willing to train the map, of course, we can create um, training seats for them.
I guess players are now getting to have a sneak peek at your map series. Uh,
Absolutely, yes, yes. That's one of the things indeed that we wanted to to accomplish with this. And actually, this is also another thing that we might highlight here. So people are allowed to actually play their own maps. At least that is the thing that I've decided for this season. We'll have to see how that is going to play out because yeah, maybe there is a small advantage there. In this case, I would say there is not because these are all polygonal maps. But in case of some other players, I think there is a lot of maps from Wordog in the competition. So I mean, like he can, yeah, assign for his own maps, and he may actually play them. And I'm not really sure whether that would be then handpicked or not. But I mean, like we'll have to see how that is going to play out. I would say that everything is possible for now. But if that turns out to be something that is going to be a big advantage in the future, we might for the next season not allow that to happen. But we'll see about that later on.
Yeah. Okay. So next we've got Clemens going with 5 urban locations in Italy. And then Hugo has gone 5 urban locations in Chile. Should again be a strong point of his. Seb has gone for Castles of Europe. Jack is playing a still world on NMPC, and Oddboker is on a balanced world. 2 world maps going up against each other, but at NMPC should stand in the worlds.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. That is the choice of Jack here. So that is definitely something that he feels strong in, and
Yeah,
yeah. Then we have to see whether Ordboka is able to do that as well.
yeah.
And we've seen Jack in other competitions as well, and he's doing that really well, even in time trials,
Oh yeah.
moving time trials. So I mean, yeah, I do not know if this is really something that he feels very strong in, but apparently he does. So
Mm.
that's interesting to see. Yeah,
We could definitely see some players who, take part in a lot of the NMPC leagues, who might try and like go for the NMPC rounds,
yeah,
knowing they have an advantage on that. Uh, I, I'm probably gonna regret this, but I'm terrible at NMPC rounds, so I definitely hope I don't get one of them. Yeah.
so now you're showing already your weakness to your opponents, huh?
Right. Yeah, that's why I said I might regret this.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I'm gonna make it interesting
There
for
was
myself.
already sort of a battle going on the Reddit as well because Calamity, no, sorry, Michael said to Calamity like, "What are you doing to me? Like picking a city in Lithuania?" And then Calamity was like, "Yeah, but what are you doing to me, picking Northern Ireland?" So yeah, that is already going to be an interesting matchup as well. Um, what else do we have here? Vietnam against Bangladesh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, Arabian Peninsula against South Korea can be
Mm,
also quite tricky, honestly. Yeah,
yeah. I believe Edward's Bangladesh map was random,
that was a random. Yeah, that was random.
so
And I
that's
think
just the luck of the
Vietnam as
draw.
well, to be honest. So yeah,
Oh,
I think they
okay.
both were random, if I'm correct.
Okay, so we've got 2 random maps going up against each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's going to be interesting
And
to watch.
as you said, Edward chose in the end Ciliat as the
Yeah,
city to
yeah.
play.
He picked
So
Silver.
that was indeed like okay. So he picked it random. Well, he did not pick it, so it was randomly assigned. So therefore, yeah, I had to ask him what he wanted, and then he went for that city.
Again, we can see people picking maps that they know they're strong at, which definitely puts Connor and Seb and maybe Calamity at a bit of a disadvantage where they have maps their opponents are really good at. So they're going to have their work cut out for them. Let's
Yeah,
say
now we
that.
have to see how that is gonna play out indeed, because yeah, I mean, like you would expect the people that are playing in their home country or at least close to it, yeah, they should normally have an advantage playing that map.
Mhm.
Um, but then, yeah, I mean, like Calamity is generally good in any map he's playing, so he gotta prove that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have a home country I can play for the moment, so I'm missing out on that. Hopefully, now that I live in the US, I have a new home uh, home ground to
But you
play
got,
on.
but you gotta learn the environment a little bit before
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Otherwise, I'm usually terrible at the US.
How
But
long are you living there now?
e- maybe 5, 6 months.
Oh, right, only okay,
Yeah.
still very fresh.
Let's move on to Division 5A. Division 5 has been
Mhm.
divided into two, and yeah,
So first of all, let me then tell you indeed like how we got uh, yeah, how they ended up being in 5A or 5B.
right,
So what I did is like having like the two highest players like in points, and then having them randomly assigned. So first of all, we got the Radox, and in 5B we got GeoGuessr. So those were the two like in the highest in the league to qualify for Division 5. And then I just put them in a random order, and then Radox came in 5A and Jogia came in 5B, and like the next two players, I did the same thing with. So this is how they were divided within the two divisions.
ah, okay. Yeah, we've got Radux dropping off Division 5A, followed by Druve representing Canada. I believe that's a first as well. And we've got
This
Penguin.
competition, yes, we had
Yeah.
Benica and Reddit League as well, for instance.
Oh,
So
right,
yeah,
right. We've got Penguin as the Polish delegate, and then we've got Bass, the Dutchman. Bass, I guess. Not sure. Uh,
bus. Yeah,
yeah. Sausage Wipe representing Russia. I
yeah, also very unique.
Yeah. And then we've got three Finns in here. We've got Emwick home up here, along with Finn and GB down there. We've got Bear the Polyglot in seventh, and Rafa in eighth. Further down, we've got another Swiss player. We've got Neufel, and then Giotia, another Dutchman in here. We've got Curtis McPeak, and finally, one of the Montenegrins, Lord Pepsi.
Yeah, and we had also indeed Gibi, who
Yeah.
is now the replacement of Patriots FTW, who actually did play the whole preseason, but told me that he does not have time anymore and no more motivation right now to actually play the competition. And as we did have Gibi on standby, I told him like, okay, no problem, we will remove you from the competition, and GB will take your place in that case. So therefore, GB did not play the preseason as well. Um, but he did get Patriots' position in the of the preseason map assigning actually.
Yeah.
So what we see here, like three Finns indeed, and what we did not say in the previous one, with three Austrians in Division 4
Right.
actually.
I forgot to mention that.
That's yeah. What do we see here? Radox, very known within the community, always
Yeah.
fighting against relegation. Well, maybe this season not anymore.
Yeah.
Uh, Honestly, I do expect him to be competing definitely for the promotion spot here. But there's a few more players that can definitely do that. I would say
Yeah.
that Rafa, I expect him to
Mm,
be up there, honestly, because I know him also from this French community.
mm,
Uh, yeah, maybe Noisel. But I mean, like, I
yeah.
do not know the other players well enough yet
Mm,
to judge how good they are. Um, but yeah, I can definitely see something happening here. Also funny for me is that we have a few people that we know from the Discord channel.
right.
So we got Drew, we got Finn
Geotia.
and
Okay.
Giotia, and then also
Yeah.
Bass. I know also from the Discord, but from the
Right.
Dutch Discord, not from the international one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's interesting to see that they ended up being here.
Yeah.
Um, and now they have to play each other. So
Mm.
yeah, interesting.
Yeah. A few people from our little co-op group have all ended up here.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. A lot more new faces over here than we have seen in other divisions. So, and like you mentioned, Radox might
true.
finally be fighting for promotion this time around.
Yeah, I mean, no pressure to Radox, but I'm definitely expecting this to happen. To be honest, because yeah, I mean, like
Mm,
as I said, like I do not really know the other players, but I do know Radox is always like fighting against relegation, but he's definitely not a bad player. So
yeah.
I do expect him to be on top of there because he has also the experience of playing in this sort of competitions, whereas most of his opponents have not.
Let's look at the fixtures now. We've got Finn up going with Heraklion in Greece, and he's going up against Neufel on Southeast Africa. We've got Sausage Wipe on a Pizza World. That's going to be a fun map. That's probably funny map too. And then Penguin is going for Legnitzer, I think.
I guess.
GD is on a diverse AI world. GeoTier has gone for the other civilization alphabet map on the list. This one with
Oh,
O.
yeah,
And we're going for 5 urban locations in Bulgaria. I believe you made that map, right?
I did indeed.
Yeah. And then Drew was going for a quirky world. We're seeing a lot of funnier maps down here. Yeah. Rafa is on a photosphere world. Obviously, NMPZ.
That doesn't always have to be NMPZ. It can also be NM. But
Oh,
I
right.
think this
NM. NM.
one,
Right.
I'm not sure if this one is NM or NMPZ, but
Let me see. Photosphere world is 4, so that should be NMPZ.
yeah, this is NMPZ then in that case. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Curtis is on Western Cape in South Africa. We've got Bear the Polyglot on an unusual world, which is non-moving. And then Radox is in the Alps.
Probably familiar with it.
Yeah, he probably is. Lord Pepsi is on an MMPC world. And then Boss has gone for 5 urban locations in Greece. Again, over here, I'd say only Penguin and Radox really have significant advantages over their
I would say
opponents.
so. Yeah, that makes sense. Other than that, it's a bit spread out. You can see indeed that here a lot of players have received maps that either were not to their liking or low in their own selection.
Yeah,
And indeed, here there will be maybe one or two players that did submit something, but they did not receive what they wanted.
yeah,
Um, I do not know out of my head which people that were, but yeah, that's definitely be the situation here. Um, and you can see that here, yeah, are the maps that most of the other people in the other divisions did not want to have,
yeah,
and therefore there's a lot of still like NMPZ or NM
yeah,
maps in here. So you can see that indeed, like the majority of the players still like to play the moving matches.
mm,
So if no moving is your thing, then definitely that is something that you need to use because there are enough maps like that every week available.
yeah. And in further weeks, as we'll see, this might sort of shift around where people in higher divisions end up with maps they might not have had on their list or high on the list if
Mm,
these
absolutely.
players over here get higher scores on their
Yeah,
map, which
absolutely.
we might very well see with um, some of the players who might have sort of home
Oh no,
turf.
I definitely expect some high scores also in the lower divisions.
Yeah, yeah,
Even though that actually one thing that we have not mentioned yet is that despite like in contradiction to the Reddit league, is that every seed here is 3 minutes, whereas in the Reddit league the lower divisions have more minutes.
right,
But here everybody gets 3 minutes, so that is yeah different. But I'm still expecting a lot of good scores also from the lower divisions.
yeah. I do have to apologize to Georgia and Bath, who, if they were hoping to get the Netherlands, I have stolen that from them. So if you're watching, I apologize. Yeah. Okay, on to Division 5B. Over here we have Jaguar. Uh,
Frenchies again.
yeah, 5 over here. Uh,
Mm.
yeah, we've got Kiribati for life.
6 actually, because we also got Valentin Rebier, who's also a Frenchie.
Okay, yeah. Um, Kiribati for life is in second. Then we got Wild Wizard and Bombadil. Then we got Valentin representing Kiribati along
So
with
we got a
Kiribati for life.
Kiribati derby here.
Yep, yep. We've got Le Temps, I think, if
I
my
guess.
if my French from middle school serves me right. Then we've got Arca in seventh, followed by Daj City. We've got Holscops, then Wakelock, another familiar face. We've got Afi, then Jean Elson. I hope I got that right. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Uh, then we've got Anko Mako, a new face, I believe, representing Malaysia, another country we haven't seen all that often. And then rounding out Division 5B, we've got Dakapaka, the other Montenegrin, in the league.
Yeah. So also here we can see still quite some names that are like known into community, and
Yeah.
again also some new faces. Um, honestly, I expect maybe Whale Wizard and GeoGuessr to fight for the promotion the most here.
Mm.
Uh, but then also like the Frenchies uh,
Yeah.
that are coming from the community that I know, they might actually be very good in this competition as well. To be honest,
Yeah.
um, and then yeah, like the ones that we already know, like Kiribati, Bombadil, Wakelog, obviously as well. So I mean, also here there's definitely a lot of things that can go, yeah, that are competitive and that we do not know in advance how that's going to work out.
Yeah, you might actually get a better idea of how this division turns out by looking at the French leagues, than if you looked at some of the other leagues we might be familiar with.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
as you can see, like 6 people will qualify for the playoffs from here.
yeah,
So that is going to be interesting because the playoffs here they will work also a little bit different than in the Reddit League. They will be like mixed with the divisions above them. Uh,
mm,
so that's going to be interesting as well. So we have 6 people from here. We got 6 people from the others. And then we also have a few people from Division 4 joining in into the relegation battle for these. So yeah, how that's going to work out, we can discuss it in more detail, like throughout the season, of course. But if they want to have a look at it already, there is a sheet, um, like a tab in the sheet called postseason, and everything is already worked out there, as in how that's going to work out eventually. Um,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah,
so in this league, there will be 6 people qualifying for promotion playoffs.
yeah. I mean, we're still 3 months away from that, but it'll still be important. One interesting thing I've just noticed: Bombadil was the only one of these players to score a perfect score on the urban map, which would point to one of their strengths.
Yep,
Um, of
but
the
he is an
season.
American, so that might be the reason
Right,
here.
right. Yeah. We were in
Whereas
Austin, and
Whale Wizard
it's
is also an American, and he did not do that.
yeah. Something interesting we'll have to see as the season pans out. On to fixtures for the week. We've got AFI going up in the Destiny, up against fellow Frenchman Jean Harrison on a fair and balanced world. We've got Bombadil in San Marino, which, to be honest, I'm surprised didn't get snapped up earlier. Going up against Le Temps on the Rhone
Yeah, you would
River.
say San Marino would be a map that someone would pick in a higher division, but apparently that was not the case. So
Yeah, I think I had it pretty high on my list actually, but anyways,
not
um,
high enough then.
yeah, I mean I got my first pick, so happy with that. Wakelock has gone for Australia up against Anchormako on an NMPV World again, obviously NMPV. Guala Wizard is in the Yukon, and Arga is in Poland. Then we've got Valentin Rebia in Liepaja. Again, not sure how you pronounce that. I hope I'm somewhere close. Dakapaka has gone the mountains everywhere, which,
Kind of like a world map, isn't it? So it's
yeah,
but it's in mountains, so the Netherlands is not included, for instance.
of course. And
And then the
that,
next one is going to be interesting: Bulgaria against Greater Macedonia. That's like the
right.
same area, isn't it? So that's
Unfortunately, none of these two, Kiribati or Daj, are from around there, which probably would have made this really interesting. Maybe Dakapaka.
that makes it still interesting,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, it still does. You've got two people who are not from around there. Maybe Dakapaka would have liked to have one of those, but they'll, they'll have to do
And
with
as
mountains.
far as I am aware, but I'm not really sure because I did not really watch a lot of these competitions. But that city has hosted a series on Twitch, and I think that Kiribati played in them, and he played really well in a Bulgarian competition within that competition on
Oh,
Twitch. So maybe this is to Kiribati's favor actually, but we have to see how that is going to work out.
Joguer is in the Basque Country. Might be good for them if they get a lot of rounds in the French side of it, and then you start off with Croatia, which again, with the Croatian players in this league, I thought that would be snapped up earlier. Apparently not.
Apparently not, indeed.
Yeah, and quite a few Balkan countries over
You have
here.
to also realize that some people in Division 5 might be higher in the list for the picks than the ones in Division 4 because the fact that they perform better in seeds 3 and 4 than they did in the people that qualified for Division 4.
That's it. So yeah,
Yeah, looking forward to the competition. And I'm already, because I've not announced it anywhere else yet, but I'm also thinking of creating a Discord channel for this competition so that people can join and communicate anything related to this competition there, and we can have our own Discord channel, and then people can just join in and discuss the whole competition.
yeah, that'd be cool. And we've got 3 months to see how this turns out, and it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on the show. Hopefully we'll have some more guests on.
Would be nice as well in the
Mhm.
future. Absolutely, yeah. Thank you for casting this for me,
Yeah.
because that is really really interesting. Because that is giving the whole competition some extra flavor, and hopefully people are going to be as interested in it as they are for the Reddit League.
Stay tuned to the show to check out how it goes. And yeah, thank you all for watching.